service in this town is atrocious. Leaves a lot to be decided. It's just horrible, the whole situation. I can't get a cab to come out here. They're non-existent. You know what I mean? They just absolutely will not come out here. I mean, it's preposterous between the Paratransit and the cab services of this town that there's not a single company that will come up here and give me a ride without totally, blatantly ripping me off. That's what they want to do. They made it clear. So I can't even use them. I really do need a cab service.
So have you tried to call a cab out in this area?
Every instance, they won't come out. You know what I mean? It's too far. If I want to send somebody to the airport with a cab from here, $200 minimum they want, which is absolutely ridiculous. I can't afford $200. I'll have to drive my friends to the airport myself whenever I have to. So I have to pay that.
Who told you $200?
Well, it wasn't me personally, but it was a person who was staying with me who tried to call a cab, and they said no. $200 just to come up here and get the person to drive them to the airport. Minimum.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I can't afford that. I don't know anybody who can. I had one experience where I was just out seeing the strip for one of the first times, and the cab driver didn't tie me down. He didn't even lock the back door, and it opened while we were en route, and I almost ended up out on the strip. The door opened, and thank God we weren't in motion at the time. So he was able to get out and close the door. But it just shows me the lackadaisical attitude, or so to speak, with regard to tying the wheelchairs down. It scared me to death. I didn't give him a really good tip, but it was an honest mistake. But I feel the drivers are not trained, and I feel the handicap service in this town is atrocious. Leaves a lot to be decided. I never fell out of the cab, thank God. We weren't in motion, but the door just popped open. It was one of those rear ramps that you drive up into the back of the cab.
Okay, and you had already been driving down the street?
Yeah, we were already halfway down the strip to our destination.
Wow. So what did you tell the driver whenever that happened?
Oh, he saw it, and he jumped out immediately, and he was apologizing profusely, but nothing. If I would have ended up splat dead on Las Vegas Boulevard, there would have been no apology that could have covered that. You know what I mean? It was a scary experience, and it stood out in my head, but any time after that I ever took a cab, I would make sure that I would be tied down at all 4 points.
And were there times where you had to tell the driver to tie you down?
Oh yeah, I feel it's my responsibility to tell the guy every time you have to. Some of the drivers don't want to, but the liability that is involved, oh my God, you know what I mean? I wouldn't feel safe if I wasn't tied up. I can't get a cab to come out here. I called up Paratransit because I saw the white vans that have the wheelchair lifts, and I thought that obviously those were a subsidiary of that company for which runs the bus routes, and they don't have a bus route that came up here, so I figured those were for people like me who were outside the bus route. So I called them up, and to my amazement, they told me no, that because there's no bus route that comes out here, that chair car, or so to speak, as it's called, would not be able to service my area, and I was absolutely flabbergasted and very disappointed, and I felt very discriminated against, and I couldn't believe it, because I was under the impression that is what those white vans were for. That, you know, the fact that a bus route doesn't travel up to my area, that's all the more the reason for a handicapped chair car to come up here and pick me up and take me door to door, to Red Rock Casino or the supermarket or the bank or hospital or wherever it is that I need to go. I thought that's what the service was for. And I was just totally insulted. And I hadn't been able to call back because I've had to make other provisions for myself to survive. But I really do need a cab service. It's a great city and I still love it, but I'm very disappointed in their attitude of disabled people with regard to this transportation issue. Very bad. I mean, it amazed me how when I was a tourist, I was treated better. I was treated with respect. They would bring a handicap cab to the bell desk whenever I needed it, but it's amazing how now that I'm local, I don't see any of those guys. I'm actually very upset about it, but it's not something I can let consume my time. But I want to be able to go where I need to go when I have to go there. You know what I mean? And I don't even have a problem waiting here or at any of my destinations, but I need a cab service to take me there. You know what I mean? I don't have my driver's license yet, and I don't know how long that's going to take. So I definitely need a service of some kind. Well, handicapped people are people too. We need transportation just like everybody else. There are new communities in Las Vegas that don't have public transportation, and we're just dying for a program like this. So I urge you, I beg you even, to please set this company into motion, because this town needs transportation for disabled people. We can't survive without it.